Now that I've talked about which mics I have on the kick and on the snare, I'm going to talk about which mics I have on the overhead positions and in the hi-hat position and why I chose those mics. So the mic that I use for my hi-hat is the famous Shure SM7B. You're probably used to seeing it with this little pop filter on it, but I really don't think that it's necessary for my application. I think it is necessary if you're going to record something like vocals with it that's getting a lot of SPL or a lot of plosives or a lot of air going directly into it. So the reason that I chose this mic and not something like a small diaphragm condenser for the hi-hat, which is a little bit more common, is because to me small diaphragm condensers are just a little bit too bright. So a dynamic mic is a little bit darker, it's not as sensitive, and the dynamic range is a little bit more squashed. So it just gives to me a bit of a chunkier sound, and it's not as harsh as something like a small diaphragm condenser would be. So I do have the low cut filter on it just because I don't want like a bunch of rumble getting into it, and I do not have the high boost on it because I really don't want any more high end. To me, these hi-hats are bright enough and they're also dark enough. I can flip them over and make them darker, and I have them like this because I'm working on a song that needs something a little bit brighter. So the mics I'm using for my overheads are these AKG C414XLIIs. I like them because they're not too harsh in the high end, they're not too thick in the mid-range, and the low end is really responsive and not too overwhelming. I have two of these mics and they're a stereo pair, and I used to also have a mono overhead with it, but I actually just replaced that with something a little more special that's going to be coming in one of the next videos.